This week on Vallo News. Bracing for impact, Hurricane Michael is making its way to the Gulf Coast. We've got the latest on the track of the storm.
And a new warning to teens about using marijuana. Find out what long-term effects can impact you for the rest of your life.
Plus, cornhole for a cause. Find out how much money students raise to help sick children here in Alabama. Vallo News starts right now.
Hello, and welcome to Vallo News. I'm Khalil Kyles.
And I'm Stephanie Michael. Thanks so much for joining us. We start this week with breaking news. The National Hurricane Center says Hurricane Michael is forecast to strengthen before it reaches the U.S. Gulf Coast Tuesday night or Wednesday morning.
Residents are being told to prepare. Mary Maloney has this to report.
This storm will be life-threatening and extremely dangerous.
Florida Governor Rick Scott warning residents of the Gulf Coast region to get prepared. Hurricane Michael is on its way.
This storm will bring torrential rain to most of the Panhandle and Big Bend, which means flooding will be a major issue.
Currently a Category 1 storm impacting parts of Cuba and the Yucatan Peninsula. Hurricane Michael is expected to strengthen before it makes landfall in the U.S. Heavy rainfall and winds well over 100 miles per hour are expected.
It's forecast to grow stronger and could make landfall as a major Category 3 storm on Wednesday along the Gulf Coast.
And if landfall happens at high tide, Michael's storm surge could be anywhere between 2 and 12 feet. The coastal areas of Gulf County, Florida, have already received a mandatory evacuation order. Governor Scott says everyone else needs to make a plan.
We have to take this very seriously. Families should take this opportunity to get 3 days of food and water and make sure all medications are ready.
President Trump says FEMA and the federal government are paying attention to the storm and are also getting prepared.
As Hurricane Michael nears landfall, we urge all residents to be prepared and to heed local officials.
I'm Mary Maloney reporting.
So far, there's no word on if Hurricane Michael will impact the University of Montevallo. Be sure to monitor UM Alerts, forum email, and campus social media for the latest developments. We'll also share those updates on our Vallo News pages.
Turning to campus news, UM will celebrate its 122nd Founders Day this Thursday. December and May graduates should line up on Main Quad no later than 10:30. The Founders Day ceremony will start at 11 in Palmer Auditorium. Lunch will be served in the CAF following the ceremony. UM is canceling 11 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. classes that day. And the university will host its 21st annual Life Raft debate that Thursday night. University faculty members will face off to try and claim the last spots on the raft at 7 p.m. in Palmer Auditorium. UM's mass communication program will be live streaming the debate on the Montevallo for You YouTube channel. And congratulations to UM students River Dolan and Jordy Kennedy for finding the crook. The clue to the crook's location was, Montevallo's traditions bind us together. It's a place where connections always dwell. That clue sent River and Jordy to the College Night storage buildings. They'll be recognized during Thursday's Founders Day ceremony. Students and alumni are gathering their purple and gold gear as the Montevallo College Night Centennial celebration is underway. This Saturday, October 13th, Purple and Gold Side members will celebrate by participating in different college night activities. It features tailgating on Main Quad, a reception and dinner in Anna Irving, and a theatrical review celebrating past college night productions. Ticket sales are now open for alumni and students. We've placed a link on the Vallo News Facebook page for more information. The city of Montevallo is preparing for its 41st annual Fire Prevention Parade. The parade down Main Street will be this Saturday at 10 a.m. Following the parade, spectators can head over to Orr Park to see the fire trucks up close. There will also be food trucks and vendors set up in the park.
As Election Day gets closer, more people are making sure that they are registered to vote. This past Thursday, a voter registration drive was held in Carmichael Library. Volunteers staffed the table from 10 to 4. With all the necessary paperwork to register to vote, file a change of address, or absentee ballot, Coordinator Amanda Melcher explained why this cause meant too much to her.
I went to Montevallo as an undergrad, and this is how I registered. And I have a memory of, someone making it very easy, and they were very friendly, and so I just wanted to be able to recreate that for someone too.
Good.
If you need to register to vote, the deadline is October 22nd. We've placed links to voter registration information on the Vallo News Facebook page. Midterm elections will take place November 6th. Alabama will be voting for a new governor as incumbent Governor Kay Ivey, a Republican, runs against Democratic candidate Walt Maddox. Alabama voters will also have the opportunity to vote on a number of amendments to the state constitution. The first two amendments being voted on have become popular topics of discussion. Amendment 1 will allow the 10 Commandments to be displayed in public buildings such as schools and courthouses. Amendment 2 would be a ban abortion with no exceptions, including cases involving rape and incest. The University of Vallo is gearing up for this year's flu season by helping the campus population get vaccinated. On Thursday, September 27th, students and faculty line up on East Main Hall to get their flu shot. The Centers for Disease Control says last flu season was one of the deadliest in decades, with 80,000 people dying because of the virus. Doctors say that it can take up to 2 weeks for the shot to get into your system, so they recommend getting the vaccine before the end of October.
Members of the Greek community love a good game of cornhole, and last Thursday they got to enjoy some friendly competition for a good cause. Greek students gathered on Main Quad in support of the Phi Mu Carnival philanthropy, which included a cornhole tournament. In addition to the games, students with a sweet tooth enjoyed baked goods from the Sweet Treats booth. There were also carnival activities like face painting and giveaways. The event raised more than $800 for the Children's Miracle Network, which will help sick kids at Children's Hospital in Birmingham.
Mass communication students had the opportunity to learn what it takes to become a Pulitzer Prize winner journalism on September 27th. Alumnus student Joey Bunch visited Strong Hall to speak to students about his time at Montevallo and his career as a journalist. Bunch also spoke about his work at the Denver Post, including his contributions to the reporting of the 2012 movie theater shooting in Aurora, Colorado, which won him a Pulitzer Prize the following year. Not only did students get more insight of Bunch's life and career, but also valuable lessons and wisdom from Bunch to apply to their own careers. Bunch told students that a key to success is embracing what makes them different. In other campus news, UM will dedicate its newly renamed soccer field this week.
The ceremony is set for 4 p.m. this Wednesday at the Georgine Lemack Soccer Field, formerly known as Varsity Field. According to UM's social media, the dedication ceremony is in honor of Lemack and her family's commitment to UM student athletes for more than 20 years. UM's mascot, Freddie the Falcon, is the central character in a new book that explores the University of Montevallo.
Sword Freddy is a new book written by Joel Altman and illustrated by Tristan Tate. The campus bookstore will be hosting a book launch for Sword Freddy this Thursday, October the 11th, from 3 to 4. You'll be able to purchase an autographed copy of the book and get your picture taken with Freddy.
Remember, there's always more news 24/7 on our social media pages.
Just search for Vallo Vision News on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for more stories throughout the week.
Still ahead on Vallo Vision News, recall alert. Find out why the CDC says these eggs from Alabama are a health hazard.
Plus, building a better burger. See the big changes McDonald's is making to try and appeal to health-conscious customers.
And Taylor Swift is shaking off her silence when it comes to politics. Find out who she's endorsing in the upcoming midterm elections later in The Buzz. As we go to break, here's a live look at Palmer Auditorium, where UM will celebrate Founders Day and the College Night Review later this week. We'll be right back.
Your success depends upon effective communication. Visit montevallo.edu/COFA. You create your future in communication studies and mass communication. You belong at Montevallo.
Welcome back to Vallo Vision News. We're getting new details about the limo crash in upstate that killed 20 people Saturday.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo said Monday the driver of the limo did not have the appropriate driver's license, and the vehicle that crashed failed inspection last month and was not supposed to be on the road. Authorities say the limo from Prestige Limousine Chauffeur Service was carrying a group to a birthday party Saturday when it crashed. Governor Cuomo is working to get a cease and desist order to stop the company from doing business until the NTSB's investigation is complete.
Judge Brett Kavanaugh has been confirmed and sworn into the Supreme Court, but the battle over the confirmation controversy isn't finished. Democrats and Republicans are hoping to use the divisive decision to help them in November's midterm elections. Abby Phillip reports.
To the extent that I came to the aid of this good man and helped defeat this debacle, I am happy as a clam.
Republicans doing a victory lap after successfully elevating conservative Judge Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court, despite allegations of sexual misconduct, which he denies.
I want to thank the other side for the tactics that have allowed us to kind of energize and get involved our own voters.
GOP leadership and President Trump attempting to capitalize on the divisive political battle to rally their base ahead of the midterm elections.
Republicans believe in the rule of law, not the rule of the mob.
But Democrats also hoping that Kavanaugh's confirmation will drive frustrated voters to the polls.
If you believe Dr. Ford and other brave women who came forward, and you want to vindicate their sacrifice, vote.
Kavanaugh's confirmation, President Trump's second Supreme Court pick, cementing a conservative influence on the Supreme Court for decades. Ultimately, every Democrat except West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin voted against Kavanaugh, and every Republican except Alaska's Lisa Murkowski voted in favor.
On this vote, the ayes are 50, the nays are 48.
President Trump telling the Washington Post of Murkowski, "I think the people of Alaska will never forgive her for what she did." But the president applauding Maine Republican Susan Collins.
I will vote to confirm Judge Kavanaugh,
who voted yes after spending weeks on the fence.
I do not believe that Brett Kavanaugh was her assailant. So I do believe that she was assaulted. I don't know by whom, and I'm not certain when.
Attorneys for Kavanaugh accuser Christine Blasey Ford discussing the fallout of her testimony.
This has been terrifying. Her family has been through a lot. They are not living at home. The threats have been unending. It's deplorable.
Ford's lawyers telling MSNBC she was horrified when President Trump mocked her testimony last week.
She was upset by it, yes. As any woman would be who's the victim of sexual assault, who is mocked and belittled by anyone, never mind the President of the United States.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, who refused to even hold a hearing with President Obama's Supreme Court pick Merrick Garland ahead of the 2016 election, now appearing to move the goalposts.
If you have a party of a different Senate of a different party than the president, you don't fill a vacancy created in a presidential year. We'll see whether there's a vacancy.
Abby Phillip reporting. Justice Kavanaugh is expected to start hearing cases on the Supreme Court Tuesday.
Here's a health warning for teens who smoke pot. It could cause lifelong brain damage. That's according to a new study in the American Journal of Psychiatry. Researchers tested the memory and reasoning of 3,800 13 to 17-year-olds. They found marijuana affected teens' long-term cognitive abilities more than alcohol. Not only that, but even when students stopped smoking pot, their memory didn't get better. Scientists say they need to do more research and find out how and why the brain is affected by early marijuana use. Be cautious before you have breakfast. Recalled eggs from Alabama's Gravel Ridge farms have been linked to nearly 40 cases of salmonella in 7 states. The cage-free large eggs were recalled in September. According to the CDC, 10 people were sent to the hospital, but no fatalities have been reported. The CDC says these eggs shouldn't be sold, served, or eaten. The FDA, CDC, and state officials are investigating.
McDonald's is removing artificial ingredients from its burgers, and even the Big Mac special sauce will get a makeover. The fast food company announced the changes to its 7 classic burgers last week. The burgers will no longer include artificial preservatives, flavors, or coloring. The change affects nearly every part of the sandwich, including the bun, cheese, and sauce. These changes are part of McDonald's ongoing efforts to attract more health-conscious consumers. A Georgia company may be on brink of solving the problem of plastic trash piling up in landfills. Danimer Scientific is developing a biodegradable material that can be used to make straws. The plastic resin in the material is made with canola oil, making it marine biodegradable. Researchers say the plastic straw is a natural food source for soil bacteria, so it will vanish after just 2 or 3 months in the ground. The product could be available commercially by late next year. Coming up on The Buzz, see how giving someone a hug can make you feel better. We'll be right back.
Your success depends upon effective communication. Visit montevallo.edu/COFA. You create your future in communication studies and mass communication. You belong at Montevallo.
Welcome back to Vallo Vision News. Now it's time for The Buzz.
Michaela joins us now for a look at the stories that we're buzzing about. Michaela, what do you have for us?
Thanks, guys. Taylor Swift is brushing aside her usual silence on politics. On Sunday, she threw her support behind 2 Democrats running for Congress in Tennessee. She endorsed U.S. Senate candidate Phil Bredston and House candidate Jim Cooper. Swift said on Instagram she used to stay away from politics, but some events over the past 2 years made her speak up. She said she wants to support candidates who fight for LGBTQ rights and against discrimination and racism. In her post, Swift also urged her young fans who have not registered to vote yet to do so. Now, what do you guys think about Taylor Swift coming and speaking out and kind of breaking her silence on what she thinks?
I think it's great for celebrities and music artists to use their platform for things like this.
Yeah, I mean, props to her. I know she got a lot of criticism after the 2016 election for not putting her endorsement behind anybody, so I think now she's kind of learned from that.
I mean, absolutely. I think politics are definitely a heated topic these days, and I think it's always important for public figures to come out and just speak out and share their thoughts, and I think people just need to learn that not everyone is always going to have the same opinion. So I think it's awesome of her to actually share what she thinks. I know a lot of people look up to her.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Next up, check out this video of a unique rescue call-out of California. 2 Los Angeles County Sheriff deputies were called to a Lancaster road Sunday to rescue a woman. Her motorized wheelchair ran out of power while in the middle of the road. The 2 deputies offered her a ride home, but the wheelchair did not fit in the patrol vehicle. The woman was upset at the idea of leaving behind her only means of transportation, so one deputy decided to push the wheelchair about a mile back to the woman's home, while the other deputy followed in the patrol vehicle.
Her wheelchair meant so much to her, and I didn't want to see her, try to push it herself. So I made the offer and said, "Ma'am, I'll push it home. Where's your home?"
Talk about kind acts of service. Yeah. That is awesome. I think a lot of police officers today don't have the best reputation, and that just goes to show that not all officers are the same.
Yeah, and it's nice to see just overall just a nice little restoration in humanity.
Having a rough day? Ask a friend for a hug. According to a study from the Department of Psychology at Carnegie Mellon University, being hugged can help someone who is in a bad mood. The researchers say the boost in mood was seen regardless of gender or age. And according to the study, hugs from platonic friends are just as good as ones between people in a relationship. The findings are based on more than 400 people during a 2-week period.
I love hugs.
So you're a hugger.
I'm a hugger. I'd rather hug you versus than shaking your hand. So I think hugs are nice.
Yeah.
It made me feel
Absolutely.
good.
I love it. I mean, it's kind of a very intimate thing at times, but I think that hugging is always important. It's kind of also another act of kindness and can kind of soften people up a little bit, Sometimes people need a little softening up.
Yeah.
Thanks, Michaela. That's all the time we have for today's show. Remember, there's more campus and community news on our website.
Just head over to vallovisionnnews.com, press word.com to see stories from mass communication student reporters throughout the week. Thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in to Vallo Vision News again next week.